We are green. We are away off of the line here at Snetterton for round number 7. Matt Neal is on the inside, and it is going to be Dan Mould to the middle, trying to take the lead now around the outside line, and Mould moves straight into the lead of this race ahead of Matt Neal. Behind, the drivers are having to go side by side as they try to look for any position they can. Neal tries to hold on to Batchelor here. Ahead of Brown, does so as the teammates fall in second, third and fourth position. That is from Pete Paver once again side by side at the back of this field. Daniel Chris to the inside of Paver though, and looks to take a point in this race. Be pulling away as Ahmed runs the normal line. Titular looks to the inside, can't do anything with that at the moment as we ride on board here with Titular as he looks to try and get to the inside of Hayden Ahmed. Can't quite make that move. The driver's going to have to try and make the order. What a move there from Pogue. Tries to get to the inside, but it now loses him the speed, and Johansson goes to the outside line, onto the back straight. It's a tighter line for Pogue here. He can carry just a bit more speed. Johansson now right behind Pogue will be looking to try and take 8th position in this race to be able to make the move, as that's a big mistake there from Titular. Titular goes very, very deep, almost contact with Ahmed. No contact in the end, just avoids that. Pogue swung out to the right to get past Titular, almost collecting Johansson with that. Somehow in all of that, there is no contact. Issues for Scott Malcolm, flashing his lights there. Here comes Deros up the inside. Deros was definitely alongside, but Malcolm flashes his lights in any case. But it looks like the teammates might go at it here. Lilias to the inside of Jan Mild, and looks to take that position and does so. Right into the rear end and does get to the left-hand side. Has a wheel in now, so we'll be able to get to the inside through the left-hander. It will be holding it around the outside, or Pogue backs out of that one. Pogue does not want to run side by side here. Decides, okay, I'll give you the position for now, exactly where it needs to be, and that is a look to the inside from Johansson. The grass stops him going there, but he ducks back to the inside as we head up towards turn number 1. Is Johansson going to put a nose in on Dennis Titular? Yes, Dennis Titular has to drop behind on that one. And here comes Pogue to take advantage of the slower Titular now. Due to that overtake, Pogue to the inside. Titular turns across to the right. Just enough space there to place his car. Train of Alpha Corsa drivers that goes fastest overall last lap. But Johansson now looks to the inside of Ahmed. Ahmed looking to carry the speed around the outside in his Hyundai, and he does so. The Honda not able to make that move, and that goes defensive from Ahmed. Ahmed has done a great job of keeping his car exactly where it needs to be. He continues to do so. Poe not able to do anything to get back up into 8th. But here goes Johansson now to the inside of Hayden Ahmed. They're side by side. Johansson gets it. Ahmed on that wider line. It just doesn't work out for him. And Hayden Ahmed down to 7th now. Could be under attack from Dennis Titular and Riley Pogue. Comes out a lap earlier than asking. Again, that 12 minutes ticking down quicker than the lap count. But Dan Mould wins the race ahead of Matt Neal. Batchelor takes 3rd ahead of Brown, and De Jong comes home in 5th position. It is going to be a battle to the line though, and Pogue is going to take Titular on the line. We are go here at Snetterton for race number 2, the 8th round of the season. Dan Mould from the front of the field will take the inside line up towards turn number 1. It is the 2 teammates in the Alpha Corsa teams that are going to go side by side yet again, and this looks like Batchelor to the inside of Neal. No, he backs out of it, decides not to go for that move as the drivers behind all get themselves around now. Titular and Pogue side by side here. Titular's to the inside of Pogue as they head around, and they get through cleanly. Pogue onto the grass, but they settle themselves down ahead. Will they settle themselves down behind? It almost is. Pogue does the inside, but Titular turns into an overtake on Hayden Ahmed here. Gets that move done as Pogue tries to get Ahmed, and there's a contact ahead. Drivers avoiding the wreck there. But it looks like it is Ronald de Jong involved in that contact. Side by side here ahead. Still, Ahmed is side by side. Now in Nico Steros. Ahmed to the inside. Theros trying to hold that outside line here. And we head up towards the fast left-hander. Will anyone back out of this one? As there's a swap in position. Bachelor gets past Neil for second position at the front. It's side by side here though. And Hayden Ahmed will have to drop behind Theros. The team ahead. And there goes Johansson to the inside. A little bit of contact on the exit, but that's a very late move there. And Thomas Brown, and it is going to be de Jong just squeezing Brown out to the wall, the outcourser into the wall, along with the racing forces fueled by Hydro Race team there, and that is a shame in that accident. One comes to a close. Dave Johansson will still be our championship leader, as this is Ahmed to the outside of Theros. There's contact, and here comes Thomas Brown to the inside of Ahmed. There's just about enough room for Brown to get up the inside there, but it's not going to be enough to get through. And he switches across to get to the inside of Hayden Ahmed, and there's contact, and once again Brown involved in contact with a Hyundai, and he comes back on. Oh my word, I thought it was about to be contact there. Both drivers down the order. Ahmed down to 10th, Brown down to 11th. He closes into the rear. Is he going to move to the inside? He certainly is. Titchler on the outside. Pogue on the inside. Riley Pogue gets that move done. Riley Pogue moves up into a top 5 position. And that was some contact in the background, and Thomas Brown has been disqualified from this race. That will be for instant limit, which was introduced this week. That was contact ahead that then turned into contact with Brown. That is a real shame for Thomas Brown. Dan Mould takes his 4th win of the season. It won't place him at the front of the championship, but it's side by side behind. Johansson is going to get Bachelor on the line. And we are green here for round number 9 at Snetterton. Away they go, but a very poor launch from most of our drivers out front. And that is actually going to allow Matt Neal to the inside into turn number 1. Riley Pogue holds the outside line. It's side by side behind. Dan Mould already up to 3rd position. Johansson down to 4th. Titchler here, side by side. Titchler goes to the inside. Contact with Johansson. Titchler pushing Johansson off the circuit there. There's more contact behind, and it looks like Thomas Bachelor is around this time. He gets it back facing the right way. Johansson gets to the inside of Titchler this time, moves up into 4th position. Theros getting past Titchler as well, as we see that is Scott Malcolm off onto the grass, even in this reverse grid with only the top 6 reversed. It is a heavy start to the beginning of this one. Major fights going on as we now head up towards the back end of this lap. Matt Neal leads the way ahead of Dan Mould. Riley Pogue is in 3rd position. Johansson in 4th. Theros in 5th. Thomas Brown in 6th position as we get onto the back straight now. Theros going for a fight there as Theros got a slow exit. Titchler, some major front end damage to his machine, but he does keep on going right now. Bachelor here looks to the inside of Pete Paver. If he is able to hold this line through, he will move into 11th position, and he does, but Paver comes back up the inside now, forcing Bachelor off and around. Goes Scott Malcolm in the background. A little bit of contact there with Lolius as he comes back on, but flashing lights there from Bachelor. I'm not surprised. Theros now looking to get up the inside of Titchler through turn number 1. There he goes side by side. Theros looking to get 7th position right now onto the braking points of turn number 2. And he gets through into the 7th place slot right now. Titchler's front end damage is going to be hurting him on the straights, but he's got the exit there, which will move him across to the inside line, and he will hold on to 7th right now. Once again, Mould not the championship leader, even with those 4 wins under his belt. Is side by side now. Pogue to the left, Brown to the right. Is Pogue going to back out of this one? He did in an earlier race. He didn't want to go side by side. He does the same here. And Thomas Brown now up to 4th position. Neil continuing to dominate in this race, moves 1.5 seconds out the front and puts in a fast lap of a 57.8, which is the fastest lap we've seen in a race all weekend long. De Jong on the outside of Theros there. Theros holds on to 8th position, but what was an attack on Titular has turned into being under attack from Titular's teammate. De Jong now to the inside, and Jan Mild is going to try and follow through up the inside of Nikos Theros. Jan Mild gets that move. Can they confirm it before the left-hander? No, it's side by side between Mild and Theros right now, as they hold on to this fight for 9th and 10th. It will once again be an inside line for Theros. That's a little bit of contact there, but Mild holding the speed on the outside. Theros has just got it though. The inside line pushes the car wide. Nowhere that Mild can do. Bachelor behind. Malcolm was running around in 14th position, and it looks like it is the sharp right-hander goes over. And is it up to Bombhole? It's just before Bombhole goes around. Here, it's going to be a risk trying to hold it around the outside, side by side, but it's going to do it. In fact, Theros not wanting to do it, backs out. Bachelor gets straight onto the racing line. De Jong goes to the outside line. Is he going to try and hold it on that position? Is Ahmed going to defend it? De Jong holds it on the outside. There's contact. De Jong tries to close the door just a little bit too much, with Hayden Ahmed still on the inside there. They come together. Titular moves back through. Hayden Ahmed now down to 7th position. Ahmed was still very much in there, stayed on his side of the circuit. Position that he lost after the contact with De Jong. He moves to the inside line here, and there's contact with De Jong's teammate this time, as it is sideways from Titular. Here comes Thomas Bachelor. He can see this fighting happening. He's to the inside of Hayden Ahmed, and he makes that position past Ahmed there. 10 seconds on the clock. Surely this is going to be checkered. It's been 6 laps in the first 2 races. Manuel comes across the line, flashes the lights. Is it checkered? No, it's white flag. Through turn number 2, Bachelor looks to the inside, and there is a big whack on the back of Titular. Titular off, doing some late moves. It's not worked out before. Oh, is it going to work out this time? No. Johansson dies to the inside. Mould will hold the inside line through the right-hander. They're side by side, but it's going to be Johansson ahead through Bombhole. Johansson leads the position ahead of Dan Mould on the final lap of asking. Johansson dispatches Mould. Mould slows. Has Mould got fuel issues because we've gone 1 additional lap? I think that's what's happened, as Thomas Brown, disqualified from race 2, will take a podium in the final race of the day. Matt Neal takes the win at round 9. Riley Pogue gets past Dan Mould. I think Mould is out of fuel. Can he make it to the line? Thomas Bachelor will take 5th. Hayden Ahmed in 6th. There's a side-by-side fight behind between Theros and Mild. Who's going to get it? Because they wait side-by-side with Mould across the line. Mould took 7th, a 10th ahead of Theros, a 10th ahead of Mild. Pete Paver will come home in 7th. 11th position will be for Daniel Crisp. As no, that's fuel issues for so many cars across the line. Everyone expecting a 6-lap race.